Welcome back, and we're about to start the draft here. I simmed all the other stuff before this. The draft is the only thing I really want to not even fuck with, but just view. I mean, fuck with. Yeah. I don't want to be making the picks for my team. I want to simulate them as well. But I've taken a lot of notes. Not even notes. I've just jotted down in my notebook here. I jotted down a lot of shit. I jotted down all the names of these. Every name. Well, not every name, but a lot of the names of all these players, these fantasy players in the NFL draft. And beside them, I put beside names of real people who got drafted in the 2018 draft. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's start the NFL draft. And then quickly pause it. Yes, we know the Redskins have the first pick. Let's take a look at that. The draft board here. And as you can see, each position. There are players that are eligible to get drafted. Damn, look at all these first round talents for quarterbacks. That's crazy. So how I'm doing this is, I went online to I ended up going to ESPN's thing, and I looked through everybody who got drafted. Now, how I did this was, Mike Cain's at the top here, right? I wrote down QBs, number 1, Mike Cain, and I drew an arrow pointing to the right. Now, the first person to get drafted, the first quarterback to get drafted in the real-life 2018 draft was Baker Mayfield. But what I did is I looked at all the quarterbacks and looked at what ESPN rated them going into the draft. Sam Darnold was rated number 1. So I wrote him beside Mike Cain. Kenneth Townsend, beside him I have Josh Rosen. Then it's Josh Allen, then Baker Mayfield, then Lamar Jackson, Mason Rudolph, Cal, Lauletta, Luke, Falls, Mike White. And that was all the quarterbacks that got drafted in 2018. Now, yeah, I wrote down all this shit. And let me tell you, I'm never doing this again. From now on, I'm just taking pictures of this, which you see on the screen. And next time, it's going to be like, like Mike Cain, for an example. In the future, it's going to be whatever quarterback was drafted first in real life is going beside Mike Cain. I don't know how often the AI in this game are going to pick out an order. Like, who knows? Maybe the Redskins will take Mason Koch here, and they'll get Baker Mayfield. I have a feeling the AI's not going to do that a whole lot at all. They're not going to go out of order too much. So, it was just too much work to write all this shit down and to, like, look through each quarterback one by one and see what they were rated. And to do the same thing for every position. Wide receivers, there was 33 wide receivers drafted in this draft. And I'd look through all of them and see what ESPN rated them. And some people get drafted and ESPN rates them really low. And it's just a lot to go through, and fuck it. Never again. Never again And so this is going to be, you know, however long this franchise mode goes for, this is going to be different than other ones in the future because, you know, I'm just using the quarterbacks as an example. I have from Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson. And in the future, how I would do it would be Baker Mayfield, then I guess Sam Darnold was drafted second, and then Josh Allen third, Josh Rosen fourth, Lamar Jackson fifth, I think. But yeah, let's get into it. I think it's probably likely the Redskins will take a quarterback. They got Kirk Cousins, who's solid. So we'll just have to see. I think the game was even trying to say that they needed a quarterback. Pause draft. I wish I could change the music just to make it something. Like, I wish it was like different music for this.
The Giants are now on the clock.
M. Casey. Oh, wow. Let's pause the draft for a second, because I have to figure out who that is for the Redskins. A right outside linebacker. So that's Tremaine Edmonds, who originally got drafted by the Bills. But now he's a Washington Redskin. Tremaine Edmonds. Alright, let's just do it like this. Oh boy!
The Bears are now on the clock.
And the Giants, they take a quarterback. Townsend. That's not the first, that was not number one. They took the second quarterback. They got Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen's going to the Giants. So sorry, Giants. Imagine if Josh Rosen got drafted second, first overall quarterback in real life. Alright, the Bears. Who are you getting?
The Colts are
Well, left tackle. Colton Miller. Who was originally on the Raiders. Now going to the Bears. Alright, the Colts.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
They take a middle linebacker. Rashawn Evans, who originally went to the Titans. Now on the Colts. Yeah, I still can't get over. I can't get over Josh Rosen has gone second overall in this draft. first quarterback. Originally went to the Cardinals. We all know Josh Rosen he ended up being a big bust. And now in this game, he's headed over to the Giants. But yeah, the Colts, they take a middle linebacker with their first pick. They get Deshaun Vanover, who is, in real life, I got jotted down as Rashaan Evans, who originally went to the Titans. Rashaan Evans is now on the Colts, a division rival team. Alright, Buccaneers. Who are they going to take? I'm just bound to fuck this up at some point. Being a stupid idiot.
The Bills are now on.
Ooh, Buccaneers, they take a QB. Getting tired of not Deshaun. Getting tired of Jameis Winston's turnovers, maybe. They take the first quarterback, which is Sam Darnold. Solid. He turns out to be a solid quarterback. Pretty solid, but not one of the elite quarterbacks. Really, the best three quarterbacks are still up for grabs, I would say. Yeah, Sam Darnold going to the Buccaneers. Alright, the Buffalo Bills. I'm just going to say, Josh Allen is still up for grabs. He's the next quarterback. Oh, could Josh Allen end up still going to the Bills in this game?
The Bengals are now on the clock.
Doesn't look like he will because they take a safety. Who do I got jotted down for this safety? Derwin James, who originally went to the Chargers. Now he's on the Bills. I mean, I guess the Bills did take Tyrod Taylor the year before. But I guess in real life they took Tyrod Taylor one year and they took Josh Allen the next. Sam Darnold going to the Buccaneers. Sam Darnold originally went to the Jets. The Jets, we all know. He floundered around at the Panthers for a little bit, like another quarterback, and that went in this draft. But then he goes to the Vikings. Has a good year there, and then he goes to the Seahawks and has a good year there. It's kind of rejuvenated his career. Alright, the Bengals, who are they going to get? They can maybe use a quarterback as well.
The Lions are now on the clock.
But they don't get a quarterback, they get a cornerback. First cornerback to get drafted. There's 31 of these to get drafted in real life. They take the first one on the board. Denzel Ward, who originally went to the Browns. He's on the Bengals now. Lions. Who are they going to get?
The Raiders are now on the
Ooh, they're the first ones to take a receiver. This is kind of I feel like this was in real life, this is kind of a weak draft for receivers, even though there was a lot of them. But they take Calvin Ridley, who's very good, went to the Falcons, and now he's on the Lions. That'll be fun to see. Give Sam Darnold some help. Ooh, the Oakland Raiders.
The Rams are now on the clock.
They take a right tackle. They take Mike McGlinchey, who I think ends up not being all that great, actually. I'm not sure. He might be solid, but nothing real special. First right tackle on the board. He originally went to the 49ers, but now he's on the Raiders. The Rams.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
They take a right guard. They take the second one on the board, which is Isaiah Wynn, who originally went to the Patriots. Now on the Rams. Cardinals.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Ooh, they take a defensive tackle. First one on the board. That's Vita Vea. Very good defensive tackle. He was drafted by the Buccaneers in real life, but now he's on the Cardinals. The Jets. Who are they going to get?
The Browns are now on the clock.
Ooh, they take a QB. They need a one. Should have. I mean, I saw that coming. I should have called it. And they're the ones. Oh shit! Guess who's getting Josh Allen? It's the Jets. The Jets might turn their franchise around with that one. We all know Josh Allen becomes elite, drafted by the Bills. On this game, he's going to the Jets. Another New York team, a different New York team. All right, the Browns. They might be looking for a quarterback too, and there's some great ones still available. Oh shit, these shitty ass shithole teams are going to get these great quarterbacks. I don't really like that, because I want to stay shithole teams. The Browns are so getting a quarterback with one of these two picks, probably this one.
The Broncos.
Oh, they take a right tackle though. And you know what's funny? The guy that they drafted in real life is still available. They might still get him with their next pick. We'll see. The Broncos, though, they could use a quarterback as well. But with the 13th pick, the Browns take a right tackle, the second one on the board, which is Tyler Crosby, who originally got drafted by the Lions. All right, Broncos.
The Browns are now on the clock.
In the game, the quarterbacks that are left may not be highly regarded, so it might be a while before they get picked. Like the quarterbacks that are left in this game that might not actually be good. But the Broncos, they take a right tackle. The third one on the board. 2 right tackles picked in a row. They get Orlando Brown, who originally went to the Ravens in real life, and now he's on the Broncos. Alright, the Browns' second pick in the first round. Who are they going to take?
The Falcons.
Oh, they get a receiver. They get the second one on the board, which is DJ Moore, who went to the Panthers. But now he's on the Browns. He's a Brown. DJ Moore. The Atlanta Falcons.
The Panthers.
They take a receiver as well. The third on the board. Third on the board, Christian Kirk. Originally went to the Cardinals, but on this game, the Falcons. The Panthers. Who are they going to take?
The Panthers pick is in. Adam, did Cam Newton get some help?
I'm not surprised to see him taken with this pick, given he was probably one of the most dominant defensive linemen in college this season. His combination of athleticism and set of pass rush moves gave college offensive linemen fits and gave him a leg up on the rest of the competition. Pass rushers are at a premium in the NFL these days, and when someone with his talent is available, you need to take him. If his performance this season is any indication, he has the potential to be a playmaker on the defensive line for years to come.
That's the first time they gave a whole speech about a player. But that was the first right end to get... Yeah, the first right end to get drafted. First one on the board. That's Marcus Davenport, who originally went to the Saints. On the Panthers now. Alright, the Ravens.
The Vikings.
Wow, they took a QB. Yeah, Joe Flacco's getting up there. That's what they did. That's what they did in real life. Wow, they took Wolf, who was 6th on the list. So the Ravens end up getting Mason Rudolph. They skip on Baker Mayfield. They skip on Lamar Jackson. They get Mason Rudolph, who originally went to the Steelers. He's still there to this day. He's always been a backup there, really. And but now he's on the Ravens, a division rival. Crazy stuff. Well, Joe Flacco, you might just stay the quarterback in Baltimore for a couple more years. Joe Flacco is he's still hanging around the league to this day. The Vikings. Who are they going to take?
The Bills are now on the clock.
Well, they take a linebacker. So real quick though, if I would have done this, how I'm going to do this in the future though. The Giants, they would have got what? They took the second quarterback listed, so they would have got... Who's the second quarterback drafted? Sam Darnold. The Giants would have got Sam Darnold instead of Josh Rosen. I mean, that's a big upgrade. And the Buccaneers, instead of getting Sam Darnold, they would have got Baker Mayfield. That's where Baker Mayfield is playing in real life today. And I guess the Ravens would have still got Mason Rudolph. And I guess the Jets would have still got Josh Allen, because I think Josh Allen was still the third quarterback drafted in real life. I think. With the Vikings, they get a linebacker. They take the second one listed, which is Harold Landry, who originally went to the Titans, and now you're on the Vikings. The Buffalo Bills. This is their second pick in the draft. The second pick in the draft, second pick in the first round. Who are they taking?
The Cowboys are now.
Ooh, the first center. Second one on the board for that. That's Frank Ragnow, who originally went to the Lions. All right, the Dallas Cowboys.
The now on the clock.
They take a left guard. First one on the board, which is Quentin Nelson, who originally went to the Colts. Now he's on the Cowboys. Damn, don't the Cowboys already have a deadly offensive line? Now they might just be adding to it. The Green Bay Packers.
The Titans are now on the
They take a right guard. The first one listed. The second one listed was already picked. They get Will Hernandez, who originally went to the Giants. So there you go. Titans.
The Patriots are now on the clock.
So they take a linebacker. First one listed, they get Roquan Smith, who originally went to the Bears. Now he's on the Titans. The New England Patriots. I wonder if it's possible for them to take a QB with Tom Brady nearing retirement. I'm sure he's going to retire sooner in this game than what he did in real life. Might even retire after this year, but I haven't seen anything that he has.
The Seahawks are
They get a safety. First free safety listed. They get Mika Fitzpatrick. If that's who they're getting. He was originally on the Dolphins. I think he's pretty good. Now he's going to the Patriots. The Seahawks, our division rival.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
And they take a linebacker. Left outside linebacker. They're going to get Lorenzo Carter, who originally got drafted by the Giants. Now he's on the Seahawks. The Dolphins.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
They take a center. They take the first one listed, which is James Daniels, who originally went to the Bears. Matching one of their division rivals, the Bills, who also took a center. They took Ragnall. Bears get James Daniels. The Steelers.
The Eagles.
They take a QB. I was just thinking about that right before I advanced it. Because Ben Roethlisberger is another one who should be nearing retirement. The Steelers they're going to get Baker Mayfield here. Good pickup for them. Baker Mayfield originally got drafted by the Browns. That didn't go the greatest. That was a roller coaster ride. But ultimately ended up getting released. Went to the Panthers, floundered there for a little bit. I feel like he went somewhere else for a year. He went to the Rams, and he had to fucking play. He had to play for a little bit, and he showed something. He kind of re-showed the league like he can still be great. And then he goes to the Buccaneers, and he's had 2 very good seasons. Yeah, Baker Mayfield's pretty good, but Josh Allen is legendary, and there's another QB that has yet to get picked that's still legendary. A 2-time MVP. Of course, I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. I wonder who's gonna get him. I don't know if the Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars just went to the Super Bowl with Blake Bortles, but he is rated lowly. But who knows? Potentially, maybe they could get him. It's probably his last chance to go in this first round. Lamar Jackson did go in the first round in real life, but he was, in fact, the very last pick. Let's see who the Eagles get. Who's going to the Birds? They get a running back. That's crazy. That's the first running back to get drafted, the first halfback. And that's crazy. They get the first one on the board. Guess who that is? It's no other than Saquon Barkley, who got drafted by the Giants in real life, but eventually made his way to the Eagles, and the rest is history. First year there, went off. I mean, he was going off with the Giants, but the Giants were just a dumpster fire. Goes to the Eagles, goes off even more, wins the Super Bowl with them. Saquon Barkley. He was the number 2 overall draft pick in real life, right? Behind Baker Mayfield. Well, the Eagles got a good one. It's crazy. I think when it's all said and done, people are going to remember Saquon Barkley for being an Eagle, not a Giant. He won a Super Bowl with them year 1. So look out for the Eagles. They're a threat. Okay, my team. Who are we getting? Who you getting me? Damn, could you imagine if we got Saquon?
The Chargers are now on the
We take a left tackle. Which we could use. But it's we end up getting the we get the second one on the board, which is Jaron Christian, who originally went to the Redskins. Now he's with us on the 49ers. I don't know how good he is at all. Jaron Christian. Well, I can't wait to play with you, Jaron Christian. Alright, the Chargers.
The Jaguars.
Oh shit. Damn, is Phillip Rivers? I guess he's up there in age too. And this is it. The Chargers. They end up getting Lamar Jackson. He does go in the first round here. I mean, maybe it did cross my mind. I did kind of think, is Phillip Rivers getting up there in age? But I didn't think he was quite as old as Brady or even Roethlisberger. But Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers did get drafted the same year. And I guess that's another reason why the Giants took a QB. I mean, Eli's getting up there in age, right? I mean, that's crazy. Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. Look, I'm not a football expert. I'm not an NFL expert by any means. There's a lot of players in this fucking draft in real life I do not know. But I do know, of course, that, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, that whole stank in that draft, and them getting drafted, then instantly traded, and how it's just so bizarre. And I know Ben Roethlisberger was also part of that draft. All 3 of those players They've played for the same team their whole careers. You know, minus that little stank, that pre-mentioned stank between Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning, who were drafted by different teams, and then they traded instantly. They played for the same teams their whole careers, and now in this draft, each of those teams have essentially just drafted their replacements. It's not going to work out for the Giants, because they got Josh Rosen. The Steelers, they get Baker Mayfield. He's pretty good. And now the Chargers, they take Lamar Jackson. He's elite. I don't think any of these guys are going to start right away, though. I mean, in real life, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen did sit for like half their first year playing, give or take. But they got drafted by worse teams with worse situations, with worse quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson on the Chargers. Going to be interesting. All right, the Jaguars. Who are they going to take? If they're looking for a quarterback, they're in trouble because there's really nobody left at this point. But they made it to the Super Bowl with Blake Bortles, so maybe they're satisfied.
The Saints are now on the clock.
They take a middle linebacker. Second one that was on the board. They're the ones who get Leighton Vander Esch. And I'm a Cowboys fan. The Cowboys are my team. I know how good Leighton Vander Esch was, and I know he had to cut his career short because of his neck. That was sad. So I don't like Leighton Vander Esch. I don't know what I'm going to rate him. I'm probably not going to rate him as good as I should because he's not in the league today. So I won't be able to really look him up very good and see what he's rated today. We'll see. But he got drafted by the Cowboys. Now he's on the Jaguars. All right, last pick of the first round of the 2018 draft. It says off-season 2017, but like this draft happens in 2018, like in January, February. Well, not even later than February. Shit. Well, I guess in the summer. The Super Bowl happens in February, and the draft I guess happens in the summertime, like June, July, August, or something. And it's 2018, but all right, last pick of the first round. Who's it gonna be? A right outside linebacker. The third one listed. The second one got skipped. So this ends up being Darius Leonard, who originally got drafted to the Colts. Might have been a miss for the Saints here. I don't know. And now we start anew. The second round. Let's get right into it. Well, in real life, the first round happens, and that's it for day one. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal to be drafted in the first round. We got Lamar Jackson going to the Chargers. Josh Allen going to the Jets. Baker Mayfield, he's going to the Steelers. You got Sam Darnold going to the Buccaneers. Josh Rosen gets drafted by the Giants. Mason Rudolph, he got drafted before Jackson and Mayfield. He got drafted by the Ravens. Saquon Barkley might be the best player overall in this draft. Well, I put him up there with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen anyway. He's going to the Eagles. And there's some other great players too. Like the linemen in particular, offense especially. Like I don't know shit about offensive linemen. Maybe the Cowboys' offensive linemen decently, but that's about it. Let me look through my notes real quick. Only one running back drafted. Just 3 receivers. Like I'm looking at the rest of the rest of the receivers. That's kind of a tongue twister. I'm looking at the rest of the receivers. And nobody too amazing. Cortland Sutton, solid. Anthony Miller, DJ Chark, James Washington. No one too amazing. No one that really stands out. Marcus Valdes-Scantling, who's a late pick. He's 25th listed anyway. But even running backs, like the ones we have left, aren't too amazing. Like Sonny Michel, Nick Chubb is pretty solid. Not a single tight end got drafted in this first round. We got the likes of Hayden Hurst, Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki, Mark Andrews. A lot of linemen drafted, it seemed like. But no left ends. Only one left ends are defense. They talked about Marcus Davenport, like, oh, does Cam Newton have some help? But he's defense. That doesn't make any sense. Unless I fucked up somehow. Raphael Pope. Right in. Yeah, so I don't... That equals Marcus Davenport, who I do think is really good, actually. He was only right in to get drafted, and Vita Vea the only defensive tackle, and no left end. So not many defensive linemen. Only 2 defensive linemen as a whole got drafted. The defensive side of the ball, there's a lot of linemen to get drafted between left tackles, right tackles, left guards, right guards, and centers. Jeez. 10 total. Then you look at linebackers. Had a few of them drafted. Only one whole cornerback. One free safety. One S. I'm not sure what the first S and SS stands for that safety. Honestly, only one of them. Obviously, no kickers yet. The one fullback that's up for grabs hasn't got drafted. So, all right, let's stop dicking around and let's start the second round. Alright, the Redskins back on the clock. Who they getting with their first pick of the second round?
The Giants are now on the clock.
Ooh, they take a cornerback. Obviously, each round we get to is going to be less and less fun because the player is going to be less good and less likely to start, and we might find a hidden gem here and there, but alright, the Redskins, they take the second cornerback listed, which is Jair Alexander, who I think is pretty good, I want to say. In real life, he got drafted by the Packers. Here, he's on the Redskins. The Giants.
The Bears are now on the clock.
They also take a quarterback. They get Mike Hughes. Can't say I'm familiar with him. Giants might just be fucking this all up, which is funny to me. Mike Hughes got originally drafted by the Vikings. Now he's going to the Giants. The Bears.
The Colts are now on the clock.
They take a linebacker. They take Ukena Nwosu, who's originally on the Chargers. Something about that name makes me feel like he fits on the Bears. I don't know how good he is. I feel like he's probably good. Ukena Nwosu, probably butchered that all up. He's on the Bears now. Alright, the Colts.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
They also take a cornerback. The third cornerback to get drafted in this round in 4 picks. They take the fourth one listed, which is Josh Jackson, who originally went to the Packers. Now he's on the Colts. The Buccaneers.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Ooh, a right tackle. Hold up. The fourth right tackle to get drafted. They get Cole Madison, who originally went to the Packers. I feel like a lot of players that originally got drafted by the Packers are getting drafted right here. Cole Madison, now in the Buccaneers. Okay, this is the Chiefs' first pick. That's crazy. The Chiefs did not get a pick in the first round. I guess they traded it away. I'm trying to figure out who they traded it to. I know the Chiefs are... I mean, they should be good next year with me upgrading Mahomes and even Tyreek Hill and... Let's see. Was it like the Bills? It was the Bills. You use it to get a safety. Alright, who are the Chiefs going to get?
The Bengals are now on
They take a left tackle. They get Joe Noteboom, who got drafted by the Rams, and now the Chiefs. Joe Noteboom, The Bengals,
The Lions are now on the
they get a receiver. They take the 6th one that's listed, which ends up being DJ Chark, who got drafted by the Jaguars in real life. Now he's on the Bengals. The Lions.
The Raiders.
They take a linebacker. Fourth one listed, Malik Jefferson, who originally went to the Bengals. This time the Lions. The Raiders.
The Rams are now on the clock.
They take a left end. First left end drafted in this whole draft. They take the first one on the board, which is Bradley Chubb, who I think is pretty good. Pretty fucking good. Probably way too good to be drafted where he was. But there you go. He's going to the Raiders. He was originally drafted the Broncos. Yeah, originally drafted by the Broncos. Now he's on the Raiders. Alright, the Rams.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Defensive tackle. Second one drafted. They took the second one listed. That's Deron Payne, who originally went to the Redskins. Now he's on the Rams. He might be a pain in my ass as he goes to a division rival. The Cardinals.
The Jets are now on the clock.
They take a receiver. They take the 8th one listed, which ends up being Dante Pettis, who originally got drafted by the 49ers. Now he's on the Cardinals. Dante Pettis, Yeah, Dante Pettis goes to a rival, or division rival team of ours, the Jets.
The Browns
They take a receiver. They take the 4th one listed. They get Cortland Sutton, who originally went to the Broncos. Now he's on the Jets. That's a target for Josh Allen to later hit. Josh Allen. Josh Allen goes to a rival team and to the team he's on in real life. Same team in the part of the same division. All right, the Browns with the third pick in the whole draft.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
They take a left tackle. They get Jamarco Jones, who originally went to the Seahawks. All right, the Raiders.
The Browns are now on the clock.
They take a cornerback. They get Dante Jackson, who originally went to the Panthers. The Browns, their fourth overall pick.
Let's go to Adam Schefter now, who's got more to say about the Browns' latest pick.
In a surprise move during the season, he left the team, citing personal reasons for the decision. From some of the reports I've heard, it sounds like he had some family issues that he really wanted to settle before the draft. His coach and teammates didn't hold any ill will against him and actually seemed supportive in his decision. He mentioned to several teams during the combine interviews that he felt a burden lifted off his shoulders, and now he can really focus on football. Despite missing a lot of his senior year, I like this kid a lot, and I think he'll do fine for this team.
Well, I don't know about all that, but this ends up being Rasheem Green. Well, I think ends up being pretty good at left end. He's now on the Browns. He originally got drafted by the Seahawks. We'll see how that goes. The Falcons.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
They take a center. They get Billy Price, who originally went to the Bengals. The Panthers.
The Ravens are now
They take a receiver. Seventh one listed. That's James Washington, who originally went to the Steelers. Now he's on the Panthers. The Falcon, or my bad, the Ravens. Who are the Ravens getting?
the Vikings are now
They take a receiver to go along with their quarterback. They get White, who's fifth listed. So that's the first 8 receivers listed are all now picked. This ends up being Anthony Miller, who originally went to the Bears. I guess he's okay. Now he's on the Ravens, so they get, I don't know, the Ravens, they get Mason Rudolph and now Anthony Miller. Don't think they're getting anybody too special, I hate to say, for them. All right, the Vikings.
The Bills are now on the
They take a left tackle. It's the 5th one to get picked. This is Will Richardson, who originally got drafted by the Jaguars. I don't know how good he can be. He's on the Vikings now. The Bills.
Bills have just picked up Carey. Adam, what are you hearing about this guy?
He got the attention of scouts pretty quickly when he had a game-winning catch that most receivers would have trouble bringing in. With one outstretched hand, he caught a pass that looked like it was about to sail out of the back of the end zone. He proved that even the big guys can make some incredible plays with their hands. And in a league where receiving tight ends are becoming a premium, it's no wonder this team took him here.
Another lineman, a right end. This is the 4th one listed. I mean the 3rd one listed. Only the 2nd right end. This ends up being Kemoko Turay, who originally got drafted by the Colts. Now he's on the Bills. I can't tell you how good most of these offensive linemen are. Sorry. All right, the Cowboys.
The Packers are now on the clock.
Cowboys take a wide receiver, and then in real life they did take a couple wide receivers later on in the draft, but they take one here with their 2nd pick. The first 8 listed have already been drafted, but they end up taking the 11th one lifted here. This is Doris Fountain. Can't say I know who Doris Fountain is. Originally drafted by the Colts, now he's on the Cowboys.
The Titans.
The Packers, they follow up with the receiver themselves. They get the 9th one listed, which is Deshaun Hamilton, who originally got drafted by the Broncos. Now he's on the Packers here. The Titans.
The Patriots.
They get a receiver. 3 receivers in a row. That's crazy. And they take the 10th one that was listed. That's Traquan Smith, who originally got drafted by the Saints. Now you're a Tennessee Titan. Traquan Smith. His name does sound familiar, so maybe he's the best out of the 3 here. The Patriots, who are they going to take?
The Seahawks are now.
They take a safety. A super safety, maybe. The 3rd one listed, that's Jesse Bates III. That's who they get, who was originally drafted by the Bengals. Now he's on the Patriots. The Patriots drafted 2 safeties, a free safety and a S safety. Minka Fitzpatrick, probably very, very good for the Patriots. Now they get Jesse Bates. Seahawks.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
They get a left tackle. The 6th one lifted. This is Brandon Parker that was drafted by the Raiders. And now on the Seahawks. One of my division rivals. Still not a single tight end has been drafted yet. I just want to throw that back out there. But honestly, and some of there's some solid tight ends here that were in this year, but nobody amazing. That kind of becomes a trend with tight ends, I feel like, in real life. Shit, there's some that are worth drafting right here, right now. Yeah, Brandon Parker on the Seahawks now. The Dolphins.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
They get a cornerback. The 6'1" listed. You get Isaiah Oliver, who Isaiah Oliver was originally drafted by the Falcons. Now he's on the Dolphins. The Steelers.
The Browns are now.
Ooh, a free safety. Just the second one drafted. This is Ronnie Harrison, who was originally drafted by the Jaguars. Alright, the Cleveland Browns. Their 5th pick in this draft. Who did they get this pick from? The Eagles? Okay. Well, the Eagles got Saquon in the first round, so they can withstand not get a second round pick.
The 49ers are now on.
They take a center. The 4th one listed, that's Martinez Rankin, who originally went to the Texans. I don't think the Texans have made a pick this whole draft. Damn, they must have traded all their picks away for no reason. That's crazy. I'm just realizing now the Texans have yet to make a pick. Well, I guess maybe that's who they traded their picks to the Browns. That must be who the Texans must have traded their picks to the Browns. I guess. I don't know. But Martinez Rankin, originally drafted by the Texans, now he's going to the Browns. Alright, who are we getting with our second pick?
The Chargers are now on the clock.
We take a right end. Defensive lineman. A defensive lineman. Last time we took a left tackle for the offensive line. That was Jerron Christian. This time we get a right end for the defense line, and that is Sam Hubbard, who was originally drafted by the Bengals. And now he's with us. Chargers.
The Jaguars.
They take a receiver to go with their Lamar Jackson quarterback. It feels like a lot of these teams that drafted quarterbacks are now drafting receivers. They get a quarterback, or they get a receiver to go with their quarterback. They get Deion Kane. That name doesn't ring a bell. Originally drafted by the Colts. Deion Kane. Now he's with the Chargers. The Jaguars,
The 49ers.
they got a linebacker. They get Jerome Baker, who was originally drafted by the Dolphins. Ooh, we got another pick here. Damn, I guess at some point we traded with the Saints to get their second pick. Their second round pick, I should say. Who's it gonna be?
The Redskins.
A safety. We took the second safety listed. The third one was picked by the Patriots, which ends up being Jesse Bates. We get Justin Reed, who was originally drafted by the Texans. I don't know how good Justin Reed is, but he's with us now. And that's gonna do it for the second round. We're in the third round now. Let me make sure I save this. And that'll do it. We'll start back up next time with the third round. And until then.